Okay, you guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jenna Blackard,
And I'm Leonka Reina.
and this is the How Hustle Mystic Morning Show. And this is day one of Crazy Rich and Free to Be. And we today are talking with Ahaumna, and she's a force to be reckoned with. Every single time we have a conversation, I feel like our mind is blown, and then we're like, who am I now? And I actually do feel like I'm starting to remember. And it's just been such an honor. And you've gone through so much in your life to really awaken and to help other people awaken and ascend. So, uh, welcome to the show.
Before we ask a couple questions, Ahaumna is a multidimensional speaker, healer, mentor, author, galactic wisdom keeper, soul-led life activist. Ahaumna lives in a pristine devotion to serving the divine through empowering women and men from around the world, elevating their worth, value, mission, and liberating their finances, health, and spirit. She has been a mentor for over a decade, and her courses, retreats, writing, and talks have helped to awaken, inspire, and bring joy through transformational powers of becoming aware of oneself as an energetic being here on purpose. Awesome. I mean, there's so many accolades that I could read here for you as well, but we're just so excited that you get to add Crazy Rich Free to one of them. And we are honored to have you here. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies. I always have fun with you. So I keep coming back for more.
Yay! Well, that's what we do. We have fun here.
With you too.
Yeah.
Why don't you just share a little bit about your background for the audience that is new here?
hmm So for those of you who are new here, I am Ahaumna Ahmayha. I'm from the Sound Domains. I am an interdimensional walk-in. I came into this body in 2018 and fully took over this vessel, and the soul that was in here before transitioned out through a really loving, beautiful, very intense 2.5 year process. And I came here on a very clear assignment to assist in helping as many souls come into their body as quickly and as efficiently as possible for this planet. This is my first time on Earth. I don't come into the light domains often. And when I do, I have a whole lot of fun and bring a lot of joy. So I'm happy to be here. And that's like the 30-second summary of a very
Long
advanced
story.
topic.
Yes, it is. It really is. And I think it brought up a lot of questions. One of the ones, and I don't want to go because I want to go into the material. I want to go into why you are here. But when you were transitioning from this, when the soul was transitioning out and you were transitioning in, I know that you had a lot of shift in that time. What do you say to someone that thinks that they may also be a walk-in and are really struggling?
So this is a long conversation. We use the terminology walk-in so loosely here on
Okay,
Earth.
I thought so.
I'm a transplanial harmonizer. It's very rare for someone to have a contract where another soul is going to take over the vessel of a soul and the original soul is going to transition out. That's a very rare contract because of how destructive it can be for the body. You have to
Yeah,
have a tremendous amount of zheng, you have to have a tremendous amount of energy, and you need a lot of support around you to not
yeah,
basically kill the body. However, another term that we've kind of umbrellaed this term of walk-in is everyone here is meant to go through their own soul downstepping and walking into their body.
mm-hmm.
That in of itself can be a very intense process because most people are hovering around their throat and their heart with their soul and coming down into their lower energy centers and into their roots. Like it's you got to go and face the shit. Like you got to go and face all parts of yourself that see evil and things being a problem and bad and wrong and find yourself in it. And that's work that brings up every layer of trauma and pain and collective narratives and stories. And that is really intense. It can
Yes.
be really intense. Just like imagine the biggest trauma that you've ever remembered and how visceral that was and how sensational that was in your body in that moment. Now stretch that to facing off with all the things that you hate and think are a problem and think are bad
Yeah.
and evil. Because for your soul to fully come and walk all the way down into your body is a journey of unity and oneness, and no longer moving through the separation lens of the epigenetic overlays or the ego. And that's not an easy path. So find support. Like, it's so important that you have people around you that can hold space for your process of where you're at, where you can be fully honest with them. And you have to trust that the people that you align with, whether they are facilitators, whether they are, family, that they can hold your whole story, but you have to be willing to share what you're actually going through and how you're interpreting what you're going through in order for people to actually help you.
hmm One more question, and then I will promise we'll get into the real. What were the key bigger differences between the Hamna, the individual that you were before, and today?
Hmm.
Like before the walk-in, what would that look like? Just out of curiosity.
That would be like saying, what's the difference between Tiffany and Dana?
Yeah.
Exactly. And
They're
what was that difference?
they're
What was that
two
difference in you?
entirely different people. I mean, they're two
Yeah.
entirely different souls. They're in two entirely different personalities,
Yeah.
two entirely different languages. I just happen to look the same, even though I
That's
don't actually think
so
that I do.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the reason why I asked. I mean, we've worked with a
Yeah.
couple people, and one, I mean, you look at her from before. She was obviously, she said, I was very overweight, I was very unhealthy, da da da, da, and she looks completely different today after having the experience. But I was just curious if what that looks like on someone that has had that experience in your lifetime.
I
That's
mean,
all.
this body has been the same size since it was like 12 years old, so I definitely don't have
You're
any
so
like
funny.
it's just like literally doesn't grow in any way. It doesn't matter what it does.
Mhm.
That's just it. I would like love to be larger because of how much energy I run.
I gotcha. I
It'd be great to
gotcha.
not have such a fairy like body with all this frequency. Um, but just like
Oh,
like your face in in Chinese medicine, and as well as in the Vedas, your face is your life story. So my face completely changed.
yeah.
Like, I have friends who've known me through the whole journey, and they know two different people.
Yeah.
Yes, that's kind of maybe the question I probably should
Yeah.
have asked. That's very interesting. Um, Also want to give time for people to ask you questions. So definitely want to make sure we're kind of monitoring that time as
Yeah,
well.
and ask questions in the chat as well.
So you
And
can,
just remember to make the chat come alive. You guys, you're all a part of this group. And I just want to remind you to not be a stranger of the chat on
yes,
Zoom
yeah.
or YouTube. Please really be alive there.
And you
Uh,
can go ahead and raise your hand too, because we can start to queue up those questions for Ahaumna in just a little bit.
Absolutely. Now, one of the great gifts you have is helping people remember. And it made me think about what is it about remembering for you, and what is it that you know? Like, do you know where you were from in a galactic constellation right before this life? Like, do you pull on that on a regular basis? Like, tell us a little bit about this journey.
So mine is going to be very unique in that I didn't go through the
I
birthing
thought
canal.
so.
So the moment you come, because of the epigenetic overlays on the planet that were in place, they're no longer in place. These things have been dismantled.
Hmm. As
When
of
you went,
when? I'm curious
Yeah,
about
do you
that.
know when
Because
it
I
was
feel like,
dismantled?
yeah, I feel like,
We've
yeah,
heard
I
that
mean, I
before.
was I was running the activations. This was one of my missions, and this was 3 years ago.
yeah, I've been saying, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yes.
this was 3 years ago when we reclaimed the moon, because that was what was holding the netting on the planet. That basically souls would go out, and instead of going into the bardo, they would just get looped right back in
hmm
to another incarnation, which was like this endless suffering cycle of reincarnation that's not actually organic. It's how it
Uh-huh.
feeds the black hole systems. Um, so when in that kind of timeline, and pretty much everyone here, when you come through the birthing canal, in the birthing canal is where all souls forget. Like, that's where the overlays were put into place.
Mm.
And so when you would be born through the birthing canal, and also even just if you were pulled out, it's the um Shadi center, which is like right around where the womb would be. So whether you were pulled out from a C-section or you came through the birthing canal, you basically went through into this netting and forgot. So as a walk-in, I didn't enter and get born in that way. I came into this body when it was 30 years old. So I have no forgetting. I know who I am. I know where I'm
I
from. I
thought so.
know everything that I
Uh-huh.
need to know for the mission. And that's why some souls take a walk-in contract, is because
Mm-hmm.
what they have, what their assignment is, they cannot forget. Right? It's kind of critical to the mission. So they take on a more intense, because it's not like I wouldn't recommend it. 10 out of 10, like this isn't fun. Like it's not a fun assignment to take on. Like I went legally blind. I was having seizures every day. I was having the worst hallucinations. Like it was a really intense process to go through this journey of helping a soul that would normally take 100 years, give or take, to process all of their karma and leave. To do that in 2 years was really intense, and it required hundreds of thousands of dollars of support from facilitators to keep my body alive during that process, to hold two souls inside of it, and then full around the clock care. So I don't, it's not like, it's not an easy assignment to take on. There's a reason why we don't take on this assignment. It's not something to be glorified. Like, I'm not superior to you. I am you. We are one here. Like, there is no hierarchy. And I just took on a different mission that required me to take on a little bit more intensity. And like, that's it. Right. So, however, the remembering in, for those that come through that birthing canal and come through that process, like at first, it actually has to begin by going back to that point of conception when you are born into this world,
Mm-hmm.
in the
Like,
moment that you actually forgot.
like the moment that you've been born into a soul. Is that what you're saying?
Into your body.
Oh, into your
Like the
physical.
moment your physical form comes into this world and is born through that canal, where the moment of severing from that source field happens, we go back into that point, and there's many meridian points on the body that can bring us there, right? And we help to reconnect what was severed.
Awesome. How are some of the ways in which that you do that with
Kind
when
of.
you work with clients?
For me, everything is about the meridians and the energy body,
Yeah, let's talk about that
and
for sure.
reconnecting that. I mean, there's several points on the body, and I'm not going to share them, mainly because like this is something that I don't recommend people just going out and starting to do this stuff, because you open up all these different things in your field. You open up
Mm.
all these different dimensions of consciousness, and a lot of entities are looking for hosts right now, and to feed on people, and so there is a level of discernment in what I can share that would make it so that I don't know who all is going to be listening to this, that it would be safe for them to hear this and not like open up this whole karmic mess of parasites now attaching to themselves and
Sure.
seeing, oh, food, look at this new person, like a new food. Um,
Yes, and so, some people on this show know how to clear entities and parasites and all the things, and then there are others that don't. So let's not open the door for
yeah,
that.
Well, let me
just
ask you this. What are you feeling most inclined to share with our audience today?
Well, I'm curious because we said rich. I've been on vacation since today. So I just came back. So I really have no idea, like, even what the summit is. I hear crazy rich and I hear free and I hear rich. And I'm like, okay, are we talking money? Are we talking wealth? Are we talking liberation?
Yeah,
Are
there's
we
a
talking
lot
going
right there, right?
insane? Like, I'm here for all of it. Like, so
Yeah, for real.
what do
Yes.
we really want to know? Because it's about reality creation right now. Like, everyone is here to create a reality. So if you're not
Hmm.
rich, then you're not empowered right now to create your own reality, or you're still playing in old stories that are keeping you from being free, right? So this is the game that we're playing here right now. I think that's like
One
in the
of the
fields.
Yeah, so one of the things I saw like on your most recent posts, you did talk a lot about how you created like an injection of money into your like actual cash money into your, and you show people into your world and into you show your clients how to do that. Another thing that you've been working on is, I found really beautiful was the song that I think you wrote, and the music video, and that all came in together. And so I think, I'm not afraid to talk about full on money. Like, let's go,
Well,
right?
I think that it's interesting because a lot of people feel that there's this wrongness about being
Yes.
rich.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is a karmic block that we need to get through as we grow through this population and ascend.
I think she might have froze. Oh no. Well, and so talk about that, Jenneth, when you talk about karmic pop,
Well, I feel like I was even taxed with it. There was a level where I didn't have humility around. I felt that it was all too selfish
yeah.
if I wanted to be rich.
Yes, and I'm glad that you're saying that, and maybe we'll use a little bit of this time while Hamna comes back on to talk about that, because I think there's a lot of people here in today's world, myself included,
Yep.
that still feel this little bit of pang, like for whatever reason, whenever we talk about being rich, when it comes to the form of money.
Yes. There's And I would love if you just put a thumbs up in the chat if you've ever had some sort of wrongness about being rich, especially in the presence of somebody who wasn't rich. It seems that I especially found myself. I love the thumbs up.
Yeah.
They're like going like this. They're like sparking
Yeah.
up. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
There's a lot of right. There's
So
a
there's
lot
a
of people
lot
that
of
think
you
this way.
that really have made, I mean, the Bible says, something to the tune of like how awful greed is,
Well,
and
blessed are the poor, blessed are the meek, who shall inherit the world. So then I'm like, do I need to stay poor and meek? Right? Like,
no, but the rich can be blessed too, as we
exactly.
found.
And I think that's
It was just missed
right.
because they were trying to help that karmic pattern and that wound of the people that felt pathetic.
Right. But
Yep.
here's the thing. When I would hear that Bible verse, or as a young person, maybe hearing some Bible verses in that way, or maybe it was portrayed that way, I think that I thought, well, I don't want to be like a bad rich person.
Hmm.
And why isn't not like, is there not like a bad poor person? Like, right? Why is there differentiation? I should have just been like, I don't want to be a bad person, right? Like, I don't, and
Right.
what does that even mean, right? There's
Right.
no good and bad. But the real thing is that I thought that there was a judgment there. And I think that's where, regardless if
Yeah.
it's from religion or from doctrine or maybe even from the movies, right? We see all the times that sometimes the ones that were wealthy in even Disney movies were the ones that were like the villain.
Hmm.
And so I think that we have collectively created this place where it's not okay to be rich, to have money, to have, and what does that mean? That really just means that we have resource, like in my mind now that I understand it better, I want more good people to have the resources of money so that they could
Definitely.
change the world. They can
Right.
donate to be philanthropists. They can change the world. They can have bigger message and really hold bigger spaces, do things like this, reach more
Right.
people.
Absolutely. She's back.
Yay.
But now that we went through all of that,
Yeah, we'll bring her in.
she seems to duck out at just the right time. Just these
Did you get
transition
her on?
pivot points. Yeah, I haven't seen her pop up here.
I'm also in Texas right now, and we're having a lot of power surges. So our
Okay.
I think there's a lot of solar flares happening.
There
That's why
is.
it's so hot. Let's see if I can get
Yeah,
my
it's unseasonably warm as well.
and I just saw in our Facebook group that a power pole is down. So
Well, if
I'm literally brought my computer to my kitchen because I was like, I can't get anything to work. So let's see if my camera will come back on.
it was interesting though while you
My
were
whole computer
gone.
just crashed.
Okay.
I have
Maybe we do a pre-record later and share it with the audience
Yeah,
if
for
you want.
sure.
We give you another second. But
I mean, I'm here. I just don't know if you're gonna be able to see me if
that's
my
fine. Do
camera
you
comes
want to
back or
just,
not.
okay, let's just roll with it.
Yeah, totally.
Well, so one of the things that we were talking about is there's this deep, 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 deep wrongness in some people around being rich, really
Money
rich, money rich.
Mhm.
And which would also, in a frequency standpoint, in my viewpoint, mean rich and riches in life. So what would be your process to help somebody or this whole group to maybe flip this wrongness so that we could rid of this karmic block?
Well, we're talking about victim consciousness here,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
We're talking about the deeper core imprints into humanity that believes themselves to be victims. So that whole notion of looking at rich people or being rich as being wrong is because people feel victimized by the system that has maybe disempowered them, disenfranchised them, not given them an upbringing where they realized I'm the creator here, I'm empowered here, I have choice here. There's things that I can do to liberate myself and to create financial freedom. So any of that externalization, looking at money as the problem or as evil, like this is all them still being in victim consciousness, right? And we can kind of talk about how
Yes.
2027, we're moving into gene key 55 being the gene key that is the overarching frequency band of the planet for the next several thousand years. And that shadow is victimization, right? And the gift and city are freedom. So we're moving into a period where we are going to be evolving out of victimization.
I was going to say, isn't that exciting?
It's exciting for those of us who are willing to do the work. It's going to be
Yeah.
really, really challenging for those that aren't, for those that are not willing to recognize their empowerment and their liberation and their freedom. But they'll also just, to be like, I guess point blank, they're going to die. They're not going to stick around on the planet. They're not going to be able to stay here after 2029, 2040s. Like, there's just no way that victim consciousness is going to be able to stay on this planet with where this planet is going. So
I guess, yeah, go ahead.
I love using money as a way for spiritual development and helping people to reclaim their power as a free. Because to me, the definition of money is spirit. Money. What's the definition of money, Ahaumna? Spirit. And it's energy. It's how it is a reflection of our inner state and our inner empowerment.
Interesting.
How much of ourselves we have allowed to remember as the creator.
So let me ask this for the people that may, first of all, take issue with that, have a little bit of charge around that statement. And those who are struggling with money, now there may be a sense of, okay, maybe I'm not that spiritual. Maybe I'm not doing spiritual correctly. Maybe I'm not, there could be a sense of guilt. And I just wanted to acknowledge that that's not what we're trying to establish here.
Everything is spirit. There is nothing that is not spirit.
True.
There's entities, parasites, everything you deem as evil is all spirit. There is literally nothing that is not spirit here.
I've once heard consciousness includes everything without judgment.
Yes. And I view that.
Right. So with every consciousness includes everything without judgment.
Well, that's coming into the unified field, right? That's
Correct.
how we get back to unity consciousness, which is where we're going. And when we're in that state of victimization, obviously there's that separation. There's not being able to see love and compassion and kindness for all of the different ways that the source has manifested itself into reality. Okay, so that is the work of really coming back to the unified field, which is the evolutionary leap that's going to bring humanity into freedom. Right? This is like the bigger mission that we're all on.
Correct. This is the biggest mission we're all on.
Absolutely.
On Spaceship Earth, here we go. So take us through some of the steps that would get us closer to unity consciousness.
Yeah, I mean, a part of the process is I want you to name 3 things right now that you think are evil. Put them in the chat. That you hate, that you see, that trigger the fuck out of you. Sorry if I'm swearing, but I think everyone here is okay with it, because if that's something that triggers you, then put it in the chat. I'm gonna swear.
Let's not go politics, though.
Can you bring the chat up, Jennifer?
Yes. Because if we that was just you in a place where you're not willing to find love and union and a part of it. There is nothing that we can leave off the table if we want to actually come back into unity.
Yeah. Oh, these are good. Child sex trafficking, child molestation, Yep.
So for those of you that have no awareness of who I am, I was actually graduated from school in criminal profiling and was accepted into the FBI and
Mm.
literally studied the mind of the most horrific acts that a human being could do in this life.
Mm.
And I experienced sexual molestation as a child. I was abducted and taken to the moon. Like, I've been through the ringer in this physical body. And the key here is that every single thing that you all just listed, you have to find yourself in it.
Hmm.
So think some of the things that they listed were child abuse, elder abuse, being killed, animal cruelty, healthcare system, hatred toward LGBTQ, judgment, superficiality, meanness, child molestation, child trafficking. I mean, these are all some, deep things. Yes. Politics, trafficking, abuse, ethnic cleansing, whatnot. Okay.
There's a lot of really intense situations that are happening on the earth right now.
Yes.
And the way that we look at those things and the way that we see them and we want to get to the sensation that comes up inside of us, because that sensation is the doorway to your power as a creator. Because the reality is, hating these things doesn't change them.
Uh-huh. Well,
Doesn't create the path
It
to change.
only, and in some ways, it infuses it, right? That what we focus on expands.
Yeah.
So in our world, if we're focusing on any of these things and hating them, that's a strong emotion. And that can expand that emotion and it can expand that viewpoint. And you might even see more of it showing up, not necessarily directed at you, but you might see more examples of more child trafficking that you are observing, right? That might be showing up more in your world. So hating it,
Yes.
like hating cancer, can have those things expand. I say can,
Yeah,
but yes, I mean, hate's a very strong emotion.
Typically, the thing that we are most gravitated towards that bring up the biggest charge inside of us is because in some lifetime, you lived that.
Yeah.
You were the cause of it. You were a part of it. You were subject to it in any way, shape, or form. And there are certain things that you'll see happening on the planet that just don't bring up that. There's a lot of shit happening on this planet right now. I mean, we just listed several things none of us want, none of us want to have
it. Yeah.
Right? Like these are horrible things that are happening to humanity. And there's certain things that you look on this list that don't bring up a charge inside of you in this way.
Yeah, that's true.
Do. And that's because there's some part of you that is involved with that, energetically speaking. And that charge is coming up is because that part of you is the next layer that actually needs to be brought back into union for you to come more fully into your body and down into the root chakra.
I am so glad you were saying this, especially as we're talking about the shadow, right? Like if that's the things that we need to work on or that can help with this next, I think you said thousands of years, this next era, whatnot. Understanding that how those things, bringing that back into integration, I guess is the best word, with that shadow will help us traverse. So if my shadow is that, money is the root of all evil, then that may be something that I can use to circumvent this, what you called victimization, this victimization of humanity here on Earth. And as I heal, others heal. Isn't that exciting, right? Like that should be motivation enough. I keep saying that as a theme. Like if I'm not doing it for myself, then let me do it for my next fellow human. Because sometimes it is easier for us, and I say women, to want to take an undertaking if we know that it helps to solve others, resolve others too.
I love that.
Ahaumna, I want to make sure that we can take some questions. So please raise your hand on the chat if you would like to speak with Ahaumna. Because I don't want to run out of time.
And while we're waiting for some hands to raise, do you have a simple process that you do when somebody finds a trigger like that so that they can embrace it within their physical?
So we're talking specifically about in this unified piece that we're talking about, or we're talking about with money?
Yeah, no, well, either. I mean, because I was saying the whole reason we brought this up was because there's so much of a charge about rich being rich. And so we could do it with just that charge. But I was just thinking almost any of the charges where people wrote down things that they hated
Mm-hmm.
about the
So
world.
the first step that I always do is I find myself in it. I find the
Hmm.
me that is in agreement with it, with the actual, like, let's say if it's about being rich, and the part of me, there's a part of me that's in agreement with money being more valuable, right? That state. But there's also a part of me that created the fiat currency system, and that is, you know, terrorizing. Let's go into it. That is currently genetically engineering weather to take over towns so that they can open lithium mines.
Uh-huh.
I'm in all of this. I am one. So if we want to get back to
Right.
unity, we have to say, I am one. If you want to be in your full creative capacity, I'm talking, the things that I've done are insane. Like, I've asked for $3 million, 48 hours later, $3 million show up. I needed to open a nonprofit, asked for the land and the resources, it shows up because I'm fully in my creative command. But to
Yes.
full creative command, you have to say, I am one with everything.
Everything.
Nation.
Yeah.
And to
Uh-huh.
do that, you have to find yourself. So I attribute the years that I was studying to be in the FBI, where I was learning about how to criminally profile serial killers, molesters, all the different things, was because I literally learned how to have compassion for them,
Hmm.
because a lot of them went through insane, immense traumas, not always the case, the entities, all the things, like, and
Sure.
I found myself in them and learned how to see, hear, and love those parts of me that I then would go on these journeys. I'll just share like one story. I was, this was actually out in Southern Carolina, Southern California. I can't remember the national park, but it was like outside of San Diego County. And I'm so clearly called to go into this park to watch this meteor shower. And this was like 10 years ago now. And I'm driving into this forest, and my guides are always available. They're like, hey, just so you know, you're being watched here. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, it's kind of standard when you're doing a lot of grid work that spirits are watching you. They're aware of your presence when you enter the space.
Yes.
But I started to feel so not well. I started to feel really dizzy. I started to feel
Interesting.
anxious. I started to feel like I wasn't safe in the environment that I was going into. And so I kept just tuning in and checking in, and I kept driving. And eventually I was like, well, I don't feel right. And so I pulled my car over, because it's like winding through a national park at dark,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, it's not
no
good to be
lights.
driving
I'm
like
like,
that.
great, I need to pull over. Like, I feel like I'm gonna
Good for
pass out.
you. Yeah.
And I get out of my car and I shake my body and try to ground myself. And my guides are like, okay, you're now being followed. Like, you need to get out of this park immediately. And I'm like, all right, but I don't actually know how I'm going to drive this vehicle right now, because I feel like I'm going to pass out. So I need like a higher power, a higher aspect of me to come through and get me out of this park safely, which is what ended up happening. Well, I went into prayer for the next 48 hours on this experience to understand why this was happening.
Hmm.
And I was led through all these visions of another version of me, this very large man that was in the during the gold rush in America, who was skinning the heads of the natives there in
Mm.
the forest. And those natives recognized the spirit as the spirit of God,
Interesting. Yes. Got
and they were
it.
convinced to kill me there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right? An eye for an eye. And
Yeah.
I had to process that I was a part of that killing. I am one.
Yeah.
I was a part of that. I was a cause in that, even though it's not me, this physical version of me that you see. I am one with the creation in all aspects of consciousness. And
Yeah.
so going through that process, I mean, I was like, literally the buckets of like mucus that were pouring out of me from just the depth of the release. I'm like, where is
Yes.
coming from? Like, it was like all the layers were just pouring out as I was letting myself grieve, but also I allowed myself to hear that version of me, like, why were they there? What was there? What was the reason? And, they were manipulated into this whole thing, and they were going against their own will because they were trying to protect their children. And so it was like this whole larger thing where we have to start to see that there is, an interconnectedness with all of us, and the things that, because before that, I'm like, I'm studying these people, like these are bad people. I'm going to go and capture them and imprison them and be in the FBI. Like, these are bad people. And,
Yeah.
that was where I was at. I was the same as these triggers in the chat, because there was a version of me that did that.
Mm-hmm.
There was a version in a timeline in a lifetime where that was a reality. And that part of me was fragmented from my wholeness.
I
And that part
gotcha.
of me was self-critical, self-hating. That part of me tried to kill myself for the 2 times I committed, attempted suicide, because it didn't believe that it was worthy of life.
Mm-hmm.
That was rippling through into this lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when that it took several months to really integrate this part and help this part to realize, like, it's okay. Like, you're worthy of love. That I love you, I forgive you. It's okay. And
Mm-hmm.
certain things just don't trigger me anymore, because I've learned how to see myself and find myself in those things and love and forgive. This reality of history constantly repeating itself is because the unconscious is what's repeating itself. The unconscious is what creates this reality, and people are not doing the unconscious work. So these parts of them are out there just recreating the story over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They're,
So that's the first thing, like, find yourself. I know it is painful. Like, I know it's really painful to do that work. This is not easy work. We're talking about work that a very small percentage of people will do. But if you are here for liberation, this is the work.
Yes.
And it's crazy. It's crazy
Yes.
work. But this is how you become free. And this is how we then create a ripple wave, because you can show up. I've had people reach out to me who have raped someone,
Yeah.
and they've sent me messages like, can you help me? Like, can I have a session with you? You know how many people would say no to that person?
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
Because they wouldn't be able to hold that everyone is trying to heal here. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of really deep multidimensional shit going on.
What about the
Yes.
person for like me, right? Like, I'm not fully aware of where I might need liberation. How would I, how should I approach that?
Mm.
Find yourself in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything that's going on. Like, you get a little charge when you're on social media. Like this morning, every month I follow there's people here in Texas. There's the monthly slaughter auctions for the equine. I have an equine nonprofit that I feel out. We rescue horses from slaughter. So I follow the slaughter auction. I know what's going on there. If I ever get, really, like, I see some of these horses and I just stop and I feel them and I let myself become them.
Wow.
And I keep watching and I keep watching and I keep watching until I've worked through that charge.
Wow.
Instead of looking away.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I had a massage therapist, and before I would get a massage, we would sit down and talk. And he was telling me about one time he became this horse. He was like, I believe it was a past life, but I was the horse in this moment. And it just took me a minute to go, what are you talking about? But then now that you looped it back around, I have even more awareness about what he meant by that, and how he, really truly became that horse so that he could possibly clear and move past that past life when he was being tortured, right?
I think one of what's coming through right now to share in this, because we mentioned in my bio about ascension and these things. And I think a lot of what is challenging for people is so many people think that they're trying to get out of their bodies.
Yes, we've been talking about that.
Absolutely.
Planet, when being here on Earth is an incredibly high honor.
Yes.
To be on the planet, especially to be on this planet at a time of its awakening to a higher level of frequency. Like, you have had to have either been stuck here for a long time, which, like, yeah, that sucks, but now you're catching a wave that you wouldn't have maybe had access to before. or you had to have done extensive work on yourself throughout lifetimes to be able to come in and run the frequencies of this planet, because we're the receivers of the frequency upgrades that this planet is going through. Like, that's what human vessels are. We're like the antenna that catch the waves and it comes through us. Like, that's a gift. And a lot of times people have that like desire to get out because they're keeping all their energy in their upper chakras because of the fear of going down
Yep.
the chakras, where you have to face all this stuff. Like, you have to look at this stuff. Like, if we want to, but let me tell you, like, what you will experience inside of your vessel on the other side of this, when you fully plug into the morphogenetic field and you're one with everything around you, is the most sublime. I'm like literally speechless. It's so sublime. It's like otherworldly. It is what we're here to be experiencing.
I am so glad you said that.
So it's such a cool journey to go on, too. As much as it seems icky to face anything, even if it's just like some pattern of proving that you've got going on inside your system, right? Proving, control, like all those other things you might, love it about yourself, you might hate it about yourself. But for you to go in there and even look at it and see it and just be with it, I think that's a profound journey. Yeah, absolutely.
Are there more souls that are raising their hand to do this endeavor than there are bodies?
We could say that there is a very advanced group of souls that are trying to come in, and they don't have bodies able to hold their frequency.
Yes, I would agree with that.
That is more, there's a way more bodies than we need on this planet right now. But the issue is those bodies.
There's certain bodies that, yes.
Those bodies are just really, really toxic.
Yeah.
And the systems that we have in place medically to actually help a physical body hold that frequency are designed to actually stop that frequency from happening. And there's a lot of souls that just, quite frankly, will not come. They're the souls that are trying to come in next, the next wave. They are not here to process karma.
No.
They're not here to be born into through parents that have their shit not figured out. They're not here to be born into like trauma bonds and codependent, like all this shit that we all took. Hey, pat yourself on the back.
Right.
They're here. Yeah.
So that this next wave can come in.
Yeah.
Love it.
I agree.
Yeah, they're really here to create a world instead of do a lot of trauma and drama around.
And we don't need to anymore.
Yeah.
Joe has his hand raised.
Yep. Question for you, Ahaumna, from Joe. All right. Whoops, sorry about that. Go ahead, Joe.
No problem. I recently had a diagnosis of colon cancer, and along with that came the idea of death. And of course, I went through all that trauma to begin with, and now I've embraced both of those into my life. And when I was embracing the relationship with death, one of the things that came through was crossing the river Hades in that story. And I asked that question, is that what you're telling me I'm going to go through? And they came back with something like that. And what I'm hearing you talking about is watching that until it's out of me. It's kind of the picture I'm getting. Am I correct in that?
Well, your colon, and if we look at the large intestines, this is the meridian where we let go of what's not serving us. So if we have manifested and created colon cancer, that is usually the byproduct of a lot of shit that we've been holding on to. So to go through that, journey of the Hades River, this is facing and releasing, right? So you're in a process where it's time to just let all that shit go that you've been holding on to, like quite literally but metaphysically and spiritually as well. And that's why that message came through, because that river of Hades, like, what is that? That's going in and seeing all the suffering and all of the trauma and all the pain and all of that energy that is on the planet. And the large intestines, the colon, is a really profound spiritual teacher if we look at it from the meridians, where it is about, yes, letting go, but it's also about being able to absorb the nutrients and savor pleasure and savor being nourished. And so the invitation for you is to really look at, yes, what you're letting go of, but also where can you let more love and joy and pleasure and nourishment into your life.
Yeah.
And I am currently working on that process. So thank you for that confirmation. You just told me that clarification. So thank you very much.
Thank you. That was a great question. So,
You're
Dana
so
has
worthy.
a question.
yeah.
You're all so worthy. Like, there's no part of you that's unworthy of love. Nothing that you're going to look at is unworthy of love.
Dana, you have a question?
Yes.
Hi.
Christopher says, "You're so beautiful, Joe. Your beautiful soul." Yes, very much so.
Yes, he is.
High five, Joe.
My question is, I was told in simulations that I have that this lifetime I'm completing a 2,000-year-old arc, and I was just wondering if you could speak to that.
In the sense of the grander scheme of time, humanity is going through a 2,000-year arc as we come out of a long, like, there are larger cosmic cycles that are at play in the history of humanity. Sadly, a lot of that history is not public knowledge because there's a lot of control dynamics that don't want it to be public knowledge. And this is where we can look at, the cycles of the gene keys, or even the cycles of feng shui that date back beyond 2,000 plus years, where we know that we're moving in larger cycles that are at play. So there's planetary cycles that are happening at all times. And one of those is a 2,000-year cycle that's coming to a close. Now, if that is the same 2,000-year cycle that you're involved with, I know that we're all mitigating different missions and different contracts. So I last year completed a 20,000-year long mission. Like, that's a long time. But the way that we synergize this, at least I synergize this inside of myself, is celebration. Like, being a celebration, like, I think the way to make humanity, your experience of humanity, and being in the cosmic cycle of time, because there's a point right now, Dana, that I know you know this, that you are beginning that cycle right now, and you're also closing that cycle right now, and you're also in the middle of that cycle right now, and you get to, in this moment, become aware of all of that and hold the power of all of that in this moment. And that's really what these larger cycles to me are about, is, great, I'm coming to the close of a cycle. Like, let's say the microcosm, we just ended a 9-year cycle from the last 9 years, the last 1 year, now we're in a 1 year again, right? Mini cycles. So I go back and I look at, what did I begin in that cycle? And now when we look at a 2,000-year cycle, you can still do that. What did I begin in this 2,000-year cycle? What have I accumulated? What energy, what resources, what consciousness have I actually embodied through this 2,000 years? Because when we're at the beginning and the end of anything, we tie them together, we create a circle, and you now have the wisdom of the whole of that experience. So that's just the intuitive message that I'm wanting to share with you, is find, like, loop them together now, because there's some power in there for you of this whole cycle that you just completed.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you. And we've got Renee up. Renee, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. You were speaking earlier about finding yourself in the shadows or in the negative emotions of things, like the horses, for instance. And I'm wondering, can you speak a little bit more on how to find yourself in that process? Because I'm going through something that is negative, and I feel like I'm opening up to the ideas, and I'm just wondering if there's additional steps that would assist.
Yeah. I would say the first thing is releasing the charge of it being positive or negative and going into it from this is simply, it just is. It just is. It's all perfect. Because the moment our brains, the way our brains are designed is our brain is designed to preserve survival of our vessel. So our brains are optimizing and looking for threats to our environment. And the moment we associate something as negative, our brain says threat, survival, shut it down. So it actually will not allow us to go into it because it is perceived as a threat. So the first thing of coming back into wholeness, which is what we're talking about here, the unified field, is we have to step out of polarity language and come back into moving through the center, right? So there is no good, bad, right or wrong, positive or negative. It just simply is all. Just simply is all. I am love. It's all perfect. Because that then shifts your brain, and your brain is not going to be registering whatever it is as a threat. And thus then immediately shutting it down. So that's just what our brains do. And we can't override our brain's survival instinct, otherwise we will be dead. I mean, it's just, we coded this quantum computer to keep our body alive. So that's step one, is making sure that you are not immediately stopping it from happening by the way that you're orienting your language patterns that speak to your unconscious, and your unconscious then says, threat, don't go there. So step one. Then once you've kind of gotten to that, we can call it neutrality, or I just call it, it just is. I don't even like to use a charge around it at all. It just is. This exists, right? This exists. It is. And then I consume a lot of content surrounding it. And I let myself get the charges coming up inside of my body. So maybe that's, I had a period where I was working through all of my things around the pedophilia and the child molestation and all of that. And I literally consumed hours and hours, probably for 2 years of my life, of content, because that was a really big one for me to work through, because I was molested as a child and went through a lot of really crazy things in that realm. And as things came to the surface, sensation, feelings, emotions, instead of saying, oh, well, this thing is making this happen, I said, who are you and where do you come from?
Yeah.
Who are you? Like this visceral anger, who are you? Like I'm talking to a child, right? Like what's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on inside of me? I'm looking inside of myself in this moment. What's going on? What's there? What do you need to tell me?
Yeah.
What do you need to show me? I'm here. I'm available. Hey, I'm willing to look at this. I'm willing to for you. I love you. I love you. No matter what you show me, I'm gonna love you. Right? Because some of these parts, they've done things that they're not proud of, that they cannot forgive themselves for. And if we feel one at the center of the bud, and to be the liberated soul, the Buddha that is aware of all of it and loves all of it, then we have to be the one that says, whatever you're going to show me, I'm going to love.
Wow.
And so as these sensations come up, because you're doing some exposure, right? This is why this is not beginner work. This is work with people who have trained themselves to be able to stay present. You have to stay present. If you go into these things, you can lose yourself and lose your mind and go insane. And not the crazy, rich, freeze, insane, like the mental
insanity. Yeah.
And
well, that would be my first instinct, that I'm not capable of that.
Yep. Which would be a victimhood. Right. That's what you'd call it, Ahaumna. Yeah.
Because you are capable of it. Everyone is. No one is here incapable of becoming whole.
Somebody said to me, "You're not that special. We are all incapable. We are all capable."
I love that.
God, I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay, yeah."
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and then I guess people go to that I'm not good enough. Obviously,
you're also not that special.
Right.
We are all capable. God created us that way. Yeah.
Yeah, or skilled enough. It would be my next phrase to myself.
It's an interesting viewpoint.
You You know what's going on in your life right now, Renee. You know what it is. You know how you feel about it. You're in it, right? You said you're in it. So
Mhm.
as you are in it, instead of, ruminating or thinking or going into all this stuff, just go sit down with yourself and just say, who is it inside of me right now that is really upset?
Mm.
Okay.
Who is it? How can I love you? Like imagine you're speaking to, do you have kids?
No.
Oh, well, imagine you had children. Imagine you were watching how you would want to speak to a child, or do you have animals? Right? Like,
Yes.
me too. I've got 9 animals, right?
Yeah.
Like, how would you speak to your animal who just tore up something and was now terrified or was sick, right? You would
Right.
speak like whatever's going on, like I just want to help you.
Okay. Yeah.
And just start there and just open up the conversation because that's everything to me. Everything needs three things. It needs to be seen, heard, and loved. That's it. Seen, heard, and loved. That's the solution. We just have been unwilling to see and hear because what we have to see and hear is really painful. But if you just start there, see it, hear it, give it space. Sometimes you need to move your body and let it move your body, right?
Mhm.
Give it like if things start to feel really big, then get big in your body and move your body as you're allowing this part to have a voice.
Mhm.
Right.
And then lean into like, can I forgive this? If I can't right now, what do I need inside of myself to forgive? Maybe I need support. Maybe I need to find a friend to talk with about this that can hold me. And when two or more are gathered, we have more energy amplified, right? So sometimes this is why we feel really great when we're just like venting to a best friend about what's going on. We feel relieved on the other side because that energy is now, hey, I got you. You're okay, right? So sometimes we just need to maybe invite in someone to that journey. And if you don't have any friends, like maybe it is a facilitator, maybe it is a family member, right?
And we meet live every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 o'clock, and there's nothing but love. It's, no judgment. And we're just a really beautiful, loving community. So just saying that, plus lots of people make friends.
They say
Thank you.
in the shamanic practice to be a hollow bone, and which basically is a lot of these, like just truly be empty. All this noise and everything that you've claimed as your identity and how you are and how people judge you and the whole shebang, that's all somewhere it came in. Hmm.
Maybe just
Joe says, Renee, you are special and love that specialness that is within you. See, there's love here on the chat too. We got this. Renee and Rose says, I'm all that and a bag of chips. Stop reflecting your image on me. She was talking about that from earlier.
I love that.
Yes, you are, Rose, all that and a bag of chips. But see how these conversations really bring up some of that very, very deep, we don't even know it type of stuff that we can address and that we can integrate and be excited about for having this, established freedom. Joy in our lives.
There's one
Lovely.
of the little ones.
We do want to talk a little bit about your special offer too, and ways to work with you, Ahaumna. Wow, what a beautiful, so many wonderful comments. The acknowledgement is huge. I felt that deeply, Ahaumna. What a beautiful response. So many wonderful comments here too.
Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and talk about your special offer?
remind me.
She's been on vacation. I love it. I love it.
It's the Christ-Star DNA.
That's the way we need to go on vacation.
Template. I know, right?
It's the
I kind of did. And then I got back, but I've been back a week. So it all came rushing.
DNA template activations. And we'll bring it up for you on there.
It is up.
Yeah.
This is a series of activations that came through several years ago. And it's designed to essentially, we were talking about the netting, we were talking about the forgetting, we were talking about all these overlays that have been on the planet. So these are actually several of the activations that came through that were reclaiming the Templar of the planet. So my reason for coming here as a walk-in that didn't forget is because I had a very important mission to run these activations with souls all over the world that participated in grounding these frequencies. So the DNA template activations, these ones are really designed to help you get back into your creative, Kitty's all over me right now, creative empowerment. They go through 8 different suns, or there's technically a final one that is the opening of the Layla doorway, but each one is about tapping you back into your organic timeline. There's a healing of the nervous system, like bringing you into a more harmonic experience of your nervous system, sealing your auric fields. There's just so many amazing things in this activation series. It really helps people to bring their gifts back online. It's been one of the biggest byproducts, helping people to so bringing their gifts back online. The second thing that people really share with me about this experience is that they feel like they're actually on their mission, a part of the earth here, and that they're doing the work that they came here for, because this ultimately is why we came here. Why we came here, and it's to do this work and to be the pillars of energy that are changing this world right now. And there's also the bonus training in there with my partner, Alex, who's in health. That is a really deep dive into understanding how our bodies are designed to become, become immortals, and different ways that you can take care of your health at this time.
Wow. And how long are each of these activations?
It really depends.
Depends.
Like, yeah, most of them are a minimum of an hour. Some of them, like towards the end, right before the Layla doorway opens, I believe that one's like 2 hours long.
Wow.
It really stretches your capacity to hold more currency and more power and more energy and create more space. A lot of us just don't have enough space in our body to hold all of our soul in it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, even if we just look at the Chinese medicine and the heart, that everyone's holding a lot of energy in their heart and their blood, and that's it. Just there's not enough space, so it's about creating that spaciousness. So some of them are longer, some of them are shorter. It's a live wave. So this is not a meditation. This is a plasma wave that was coming through the planet, and when you listen to it, you catch that activation. So it's spoken through me, but it was brought through all of us.
Yep. Yeah.
I feel like it's more important now than ever to do some of these activations where other people have been guided. And it's I have a client that I've been working with that, brought into this, like, we were talking about the codex, and, he had these like 4 words that he gave me. And it was like, wow, that really reads as light, right? It's not light language, it's just light. And it just really got me into realizing that there's these codes all around us. There's these activations to elevate us. And yet we just kind of roll our eyes, and some of us do. I don't anymore. But I used to, because we're just like, oh, it's just another meditation. And it's just becoming really, really clear that we have all this help available to us.
Yes.
We just don't know how to access it, or we've forgotten to access it, or we put up a block like I did where we go, oh, it's just a meditation.
And you've got to realize that there are, if there's something that's really calling to you, that is feeling very light, and that your body's like, oh, I want that. Like, listen to that. Listen, because that is when you're saying, and I like, God, universe, send me some, I really need some help around this. And then there's, Ahaumna's beautiful program that says it has activations in it. And my body's going, yeah. And I'm not choosing it, then I'm almost saying, okay, I'm not going to choose to have this be the change that's available, because those are the things that they put in our field in order to change us. And many times I used to be this person. I'd be like, oh, I'm not going to get that. And then I'd go to lunch and spend the, same amount of money, right? Like that and some shoes. And then I'm wondering why I didn't get the change that I was asking for. Well, there were the tools right there, like choose in different ways, choose yourself, believe that. And this is the other thing too. I used to believe that all these things work for everybody else, but not for me.
Yep.
And
well, we just busted that one.
Yeah, I'm not that special. It's available for me too. And God was already putting these things in front of me. And I wasn't choosing it. I was choosing to numb out with the same things by going to the lunch and having the cocktails with the friends and buying the shoes that I thought that would make me feel better when this was right here in front of me. That's my little 2-piece or my PSA for the day.
Oh my gosh. I feel like the amount of times that I've just been like, I'm going to get this product. I'm just going to listen to these activations at night. And then suddenly I'm like lighter and
you're like a different person.
Morning.
Right. Yeah. You go outside and the colors are different. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Now I've learned to really lean in and choose. Yes. Yeah. So Joe's saying yes, yes, yes with the heart. Yes. It's available. And I think that's so beautiful. And we made it very easy. And Hamina, has lowered the price on that for the summit as well. And we do a 2-pay. So we make it super easy for you to choose yourself. A 2-pay on anything that's over $100. So, okay, well, great. But still, you know what I'm saying? Like it's super, the value is so much more there.
Yeah.
And we make it super easy for you to choose you. And if you need a 2-pay, write me, team at hustle.com. We really want you to be able to choose yourself and get the change that you are so seeking, right? Mm-hmm. That's basically it. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Wow.
Pretty cool that we have 3 sets of fraternal twins here and breach, not that common. Oh, yeah, for sure. And some of the other comments was like, oh, I can so relate. Yes, I agree with that too. There are many things that we do that I think many of us can relate to that you spoke about, Ahaumna.
Yeah. Wow. What a great call.
Do you have any parting words for us today? Sorry.
Go for it. I was going to ask anyway.
I knew you were. I felt it.
Or a mini activation would be fun too.
Accept.
Sorry. I
think you're breaking up, babe.
Yep.
Looks clear on my end.
Yeah, here we go. Go ahead.
Go for it.
Just that acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
And acceptance for all that you are. There's no part of you that's unworthy of love. There's nothing outside of you that you are not in some way in alignment with it. And the more that we can move from acceptance, the greater and faster your life is going to transform all around you.
Yeah.
Take more of your power back into your seat of command. And that is where you create your life. So accept and love and forgive. And you've got this.
Just like that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I love it.
Dana says, been an amazing call with the Purple Heart. And Leilani says, so inspired by your level of devotion. Ooh, yo también. And then thank you, Ahaumna. For sure. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
And thanks the audience for being here and really receiving and going down this road with us.
Rose says, I appreciate you. And on the chat says, oh my gosh, such an amazing call. Yeah, I agree with that too. Thank you, Ahaumna. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
We created this.
Yeah, we did. Oh,
thank you.
Saying so. And she says me, not me. She says we in the way that it is all of us on this call. Correct. You, all of you, really.
Yes.
Alrighty, we'll stick around. We have 5 more minutes.
Yes. Yeah. You guys, I just want to remind you that if you are looking for a special offer and maybe you're like, I don't remember who it was, but you could kind of pinpoint the time, everything on the live page at howhustle.com/live, everything on that page is in order as the agenda for when you might have seen this person.
Do you want to swip over to the live page so we can just talk about it?
Share it
Basically, it's our dashboard, and it's going to be the dashboard for the entire season. So whenever you see this, although we use the summit to kick off our season, woohoo!
Yeah.
There's our lovely little faces.
Wait, I'm not yet there yet.
Okay, hold on.
Almost there. Just a second.
And it's a dashboard. So basically everything that you need going forth, even with the live show, you can get here on this page. So I want you to bookmark it. If you are getting this page, you are already on our newsletter.
Yep.
So that's even wonderful.
Yep.
And so you just bookmark this page.
Sorry about that. I was going to put it in the Zoom chat. Oh, well.
Are you sharing? Yes?
Yes, I'm trying to share it, but I can't, I don't know. We'll
It's
just
fine.
talk about it. Here we go. You all are getting this in the newsletter. If you're not on our newsletter, go to howthustle.com and get on the newsletter. And this is what it looks like. Here we are today doing our little talk and live stream right now. And here's who we've had on. So we had Lisa, and you can get her special offer here. And Ahaumna, you can get her special offer here. And then we're going to have Dr. Lisa in just a moment. You can get her link right there. Of course, if you ever get lost, but you know a show is coming on and you want to join on the Zoom, it's right here. Then we've got a daily schedule.
Isn't that fun? I'm excited.
We have a really good tech team
We
that
do.
has really masterminded this whole thing.
I know, I love her so much.
This is the whole schedule and agenda right here. This is where we're talking about Mystique
Exciting.
and how you can work with us as well. And
Joe's laughing because he loves, I mean, we've had fun and we've talked so deeply about the different things, and each person's gifts are activated by being amongst each other. So I do, intuitive readings, and whenever I'm sitting with some other people that are much more clairaudient, I can hear better. It's amazing how we really activate each other's gifts in that group. So it's super fun. We'll tell you all about it on Thursday. You're going to want to hear about it, I promise.
If you just want all these recordings for yourself, we do host this on YouTube, but we don't keep them up there. But you would go on down here if you do want them. And we've made them pretty reasonable at $47.
And that includes any summit that we've done from before. So you get the recordings of that. And we're just constantly, adding to things and putting stuff in there. So it's really fun, but you get all of the stuff from before. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yep. And it's all written right here. So that is if
for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And as long as we do these summits, you're going to keep getting updates with them too. So that's what that looks like. So that's
you totally would want to get that, because like I said, these are meant to be listened to again.
Yep.
And you can go back and listen to the older ones and then come back and listen to that speaker. You will learn the different progressions of the information. I mean, it's just, I always say that they're so divine. This whole summit, this whole show has been so divinely guided. Mm-hmm. Even if we tried to put our little paws all over it, which we try to do sometimes, and then Spirit just says, no, I need this, this, and this, and this. And all of a sudden it just works out. And we're like, okay, I couldn't have done that better myself, right?
Yeah, we'll basically go into an energetic state and go,
yes,
who's on our next summit? And then we will pull from the seasons of our talk shows. Yeah. Like who are the people we can go anywhere with at any time, always. And that's where we pull from.
Or
and
what's the energy that this is, that the audience is needing right now.
How we create Crazy Rich Free.
Yeah. And there'll be another iteration of Crazy Rich Free that will look a little different, right? So, somebody that may have been on the summit was on the last summit or that wasn't on the last summit, they will show up again. So as the energies are needing whatever divine is really calling us to do. And then sometimes people fall out the very last minute, and we're like, how did that happen? All of these things. And then somebody else is like, they'll sign up to do it because we're so kind of overbooked that, divine does that for us. It's amazing. It's been amazing.
Yeah. At some point, we should create a program on how to grow your business from the spiritual entrepreneur
Yes,
perspective or
it's
something like
it's definitely
in
helpful.
there. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really fun doing it that way.
Yes.
Great. All right. I'm going to stop the recording and we're going to bring Dr. Lisa up and we'll get going.